Today is January 12th, and we will start the Turnbull Creek Preservation Board meeting. It is 3 o'clock. Would you please call the roll?
Chair Althern.
Present.
Vice Chair Weston.
Present.
Member Hartman.
Present.
Member Robish.
Present.
Member Werner.
Present.
Great. First, I want to welcome Randy to our board.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good to have some experience with us for all the years of your help with the city, and you're familiar with Corbin Park and what we have there, as well as all the parts of the city we're going to be talking about with the Turnbull Creek and where we're going with it.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. The first item on the agenda is the approval of our minutes. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
And I need a second.
Second.
Would you please call the roll again for us?
Member Werner.
Yes.
Member Robish.
Yes.
Member Hartman.
Yes.
Vice Chair Weston.
Yes.
Chair Althern.
Athern, yes.
Athern, sorry.
Yes. Public participation, I look out to see, is there any public participation? And seeing none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, item number 4, new business and discussion items. Under discussion items, we have the Linda and Walter Mitten property. That was one we put aside for discussion today. We are doing this as a workshop, correct?
However you wish to do it.
Actually, no, this
I
is
think
a
it is-
meeting.
yeah, it's scheduled as a meeting.
It's
Okay.
been noticed, so you can make motions and
Okay.
direction. Yeah.
All right, so the discussion was on the property that's, I'm going to point to you. It's the section that's between Mission Road, I'm sorry, it's between State Road 44 and Jungle Road. So you notice we got these great big maps
Wonderful.
that have everything on it. It's got, oh, sorry. It has all the parcel numbers. It has the listing of those parcel numbers on the side, and I believe the ownership. It notes on the legend all of the sections of the creek, what zone, priorities, etc. We can take a look at that parcel. I'm going to try and find it myself. All right, so it's this section between State Road 44 as it's on the screen. That's good. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
We'll enlarge it just a little more.
Yep, I have to.
Well, you'll set it up that we can see it. Well, you can see it too. There you go. This is going to be
Yeah,
difficult to
here.
do.
There we are.
Okay. Tony, would you enlighten us, please, on the information you got on the appraisal for that parcel? Because it was one we had asked for that parcel's appraisal.
I have them in here. Let me find them.
All right, well, so that you don't get too, I'll give you a minute. I'm going to stall.
Okay.
Linda Mitten and I had been talking about her parcel. I was aware that she is interested in selling the parcel. She is looking at their retirement and how they have to divide their properties up to their kids. And, all right. So they were looking at selling the parcel to the city. I would like to have that parcel because it connects the section of Turnbull Creek that we already own on the north side of Jungle Road, that connects to the big parcels we already have, and it connects us, it gives that connectivity that if we were to ever run this as a park adventure or a passive park, that's our connecting spot. It could be easily made into easy parking for people who are coming in and out of 44. There's a section of the land that has a donut in the middle. Years earlier, she had sold that parcel to the county so that the county would have access onto the parcel. It's right off of 44, and there's a pond there. Back in the early 60s, before the pond went in, or as the pond went in, that was Hanson and McAllister was working with her family as they were building the Ellison Acre parcels. And that got cleaned out. The creek there got cleaned out. and widened. So it was originally only 15 feet wide, but the Ellison family, senior, felt that they needed more space to prevent flooding. They knew it was a lower section of land, 44 was coming in, was gonna get raised, so they dug that out as a favor. And then this parcel center was dug out as overflow. I don't know if it was in there in the 60s or if it was part of the deal that went in on the 60s, but I know that all the dirt from inside of the creek went right over to that shoreline. So then nothing was ever found. Later on, they also widened the south section from Mission Road to 44 as part of another deal with Hanson McAllister and the Ellisons, whatever they did. Back then, it was, favor to favor. So all that has changed. So now Linda is interested in selling this parcel, and that is, I believe it's number 77 and number 69, right in the middle, bottom portion middle of your maps. These are bigger, as I already mentioned to you, Tony, these are bigger than we really need to work
Yeah.
with. It's a little difficult, but for future, if you can keep us to that legal size
Yep.
or a little bit larger than the legal size, then we can put it in our folders to continue through the next couple of years
Okay.
of map requests. And then I need them like 2 days before I get to a meeting, so I have room to study them as well.
Okay.
And then I can help direct where we go with the meeting. So just for future reference. Okay, so these are the parcels we want to talk about, is number 69 and 77. And I'll listen to your input, board. Randy, you want to start? You got some input on that parcel? You want to come back to you later?
Come back to me. I don't have any of the previous documentation, if there was a proposal made or what their appraisals were. I don't have any of that. so
Okay.
I'll have to defer to
Yeah,
later.
let's give you time to get caught up on it. In the meantime, I know that the appraisal came in at over 350,000, and there was, I don't
For
know
each
if that
one, I
was on
believe.
both parcels or on one or the other.
Just on one. So let me pull up. Come on, there it is. So this is actually parcel 69. There was two appraisals done in 2020 and two done in 2025. So 2025, we're looking at about 380,000 for parcel 69.
Say that again, how much?
About 380.
Okay. And then parcel 77 is the part that hole is. And you
Correct.
see that whole piece right there? That's the pond, I believe, that was dug wider and squared off by the county.
Yeah, it's actually owned by DOT.
Yeah.
So for 77, the southern parcel, again, two proposals in 2020 and two in 2025. This year, they've come in at about 352,000 average.
Do we know how well maintained that is by DOT?
We do not. Aerial photo, you can't see any sign of open water, so it's probably a grown-in cattail patch.
I don't remember how deep it was. I remember as a kid going back there, on horseback, but I don't remember. It was deeper then, but, so DOT owns it.
Correct.
Is there an intent that we buy it from DOT or make a proposal for that piece for DOT, or is DOT going to own it forever?
The intent at this point is to let DOT have it.
Is to what?
Let DOT keep it.
Okay.
Do they own the entire parcel or just the
Just
center?
just the hole
center
in the
part?
donut.
Gotcha. They own the center part.
The
not
center part.
Not the entire, okay.
Right. The goal was that they had access to an overflow site. It's the only one off of 44, as I understand.
There's one on the other side of the road, the other side of the creek, too.
Just across from this on our
Right.
maps. That was the brother's parcel.
Okay.
And I thought that his pond was also part of DOT's deal.
It's owned by DOT as well, so,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And that isn't a part that we're looking at. Have we made any attempts on buying parcel 78 or have any idea if we want to buy parcel 78?
It's one of the things I really want to discuss today is which ones you want us to pursue from here. Parcel 78 has actually approached planning and is interested in selling because they've been flooding.
Yeah, that's her brother.
Okay.
So Linda Mitten is a Linda Ellis, and her brother owns the other side too. So they each had a chunk of the land. And then the other portions you see, 76, 77, and on to 70, all of those are individually owned parcels, and I doubt you'll ever get any of those people out of there. The houses are being applied for rising, so they want to stay. They have flooded. Whenever the creek rises, it goes there.
Well, all of these properties are flooded.
Everything, yeah. Everything on that side. It's always been low, but it's tremendous. But as for our purposes, looking at the $2 amounts, that's 700, roughly.
It was somewhere around 740, something like
Yeah.
that.
Do we want to approach her or request that the city, buy it at that price?
We actually, before the first of the year, we called her and offered her the average amounts, and she said she wanted to think about it. We haven't heard back from her yet.
Okay.
And I was going to wait today until see if you've talked to her at all or not. If not, I will reach out to her tomorrow and see if she has a counter offer or is interested.
Okay. How do you guys feel about that one?
I think it's a great piece, and we should definitely try to get it.
I
Both
agree.
those two pieces on that side,
I agree. I think they're overpriced for
yeah.
what anybody can do with them, but if we could get them, it would be wonderful.
Do you need any more history on the zoning to make a better decision? I got zoning
Yeah,
information.
let's definitely look at that.
Okay, so on the zoning for those parcels, the zoning is currently at a B, I want to make sure I get it right. It's a B zoning, a business zoning on it. And the only thing she would be allowed to do on those parcels is under the county B4, which is general commercial, like on US 1 in New Smyrna. Could be a liquor store, it could be a health club, but there isn't enough room for that. There is enough room for her to put a tower there. So she could sell out the front parcel and put a tower.
So we're specifically talking about number 69, correct?
67 and 69, 70,
77.
77 and 69, right?
79.
Yes. Thank you.
And according to the map, it looks like 69 has property on the east side of the canal also. Is that correct?
69?
69 is the section on the east section. He just said that was a $380,000 appraisal
No, if you
on
look
that
at-
piece.
If you look at the map, according to the shading, according to the legend, there's a slim area on the east side of the canal that is also the same color coding, et cetera. So is that a mistake, or is that actually the,
That is how the property appraisers map it.
okay?
So canal ownership would probably fall to that.
So the canal transverses that piece of property.
Yes,
So we'd own both sides.
yes.
Okay.
What's
Yeah,
the
with the
sti-
exception of, there's like two lots you see.
Right, yeah, I see that.
70 and 71.
What's the status of 79?
We have not pursued that in, I have to go back and look, I think we pursued it in 2020, and I have not found any records as to what happened on that.
I think that's still part of the brothers' parcel.
It is, yeah, that's
It
where
was
they're,
cleared. He did some underbrush work there and cleared out the
just
underbrush.
recently, yes.
Cleaned out the trash. There was a whole lot of trash debris collection in that section. He owns also 78 and 79, I think.
The flow dynamic of the water underneath 44, that's been constrained and the whole area is flooded in the past. I wonder if we could go in with the city on flood mitigation to purchase these properties and get some help. Because the more water that could be stored in a high flood situation in those properties, which are not really good for very much, except to be saved, right? Maybe there would be another source of funds that could contribute to that.
So have the Turnbull Creek Preservation funds applied to the purchase of the land and then flood mitigation to help make it as a flood zone?
Yeah, so, our hands are tied for properties that we've already purchased in terms of maintenance and in terms of other uses, like for flood control. And I guess we're locked into what we voted on. But if these particular properties could be purchased with some kind of special permit so that we can do other things with them, then they could be used for water mitigation, for flood mitigation, for retention.
I think it's going to be questionable because if the Turnbull Creek Preservation funds, the bond issue is specifically to keep in perpetuity.
For conservation and
And
recreation.
for conservation, I think it's going to rule out using it for any flood use. However, since DOT already has a pond there and on the other side, possibly working the city with DOT to deepen and widen,
Okay?
may be the answer to that.
I like that idea.
That would put the city in a better position to work with them for any other additional flood mitigation. Again, I don't know how deep either of these are. We'd have to find out from DOT, getting in touch with whoever they have that can give us some details on those two ponds.
Yeah, I can reach out to them and get.
That'd be
get
great.
permission.
Since that's already designated as overflow drainage, I would think we could work something with that. Because they are attached. There's an opening on the pond that you can
All right.
see where the flow goes in. As far as 69, that looks like a wide open spot. Again, back to my thinking of using that as a parking area, since we already own the north section at 66 and 60, and that's that Turnbull Trace portion. You know, those give us access as a parking spot. They're off of that street right there that you see it's Walker. So that would give you a drive-in area to park, and then you can use that trail. And as I had talked to everybody before, that trail with the county, and that's something, a different subject, but we would be available for the Volusia Echo Grant money to connect those parcels from the Turnbull Trace section to the park that's up off of Howland Boulevard, and they would have funds to allow us trails, to open it up, clean it out, and give us trails. So I think making the,
Looks like there's a trail over
partly, there could be partly a trail.
there. I think that's a great idea. I really like that idea.
Okay, so let's decide what we want to do. Do we want the city to go forward with making an offer for the appraised value on 77 and 69, the Mitten property?
So moved. And let's have a discussion about it. So moved if
Okay.
there's a second.
Okay,
Is there a second?
for discussion? Well, that's what we're doing now.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion? What do you think?
I'm under the impression we already made an offer to them. Is that correct?
We did. I thought we voted
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
the offer last time.
Yes,
Okay, so we're going to move forward for the city to make that offer.
They've made it.
yes. I think, in my opinion too, just throwing it in there, 69 looks a lot more critical because we got both sides of the creek there. So it's a lot of frontage on the creek on that piece of property.
Right.
And 69 is probably more developable than
Yes.
77.
Yeah,
69
380.
69 also zoned commercial business? I thought it was zoned residential.
69 is still part of it, I believe. Hang on. It's part of that county, under the county map. Yeah, under the county map, it's considered, developable.
Yeah.
Because they have that whole section. They have, the county map has this, the front piece is a B4, the back section is a R4A. And in the middle, it's RCA.
Okay.
But all of 66 is 66, 69, right?
69, right.
It is R4A.
Okay.
The front that's on 44 is the commercial parcel at B4, commercial development. And again, that's under that would have to be under septic tank, 25-foot buffer in the county, so you'd still have to have a buffer under development, so you'd have 25 feet off of 44 that you couldn't touch. That reduces it quite a bit. That's why she could put a tower there.
So if you've already made a motion previously to purchase the property because you've made her an offer, then I just think that
We don't need another one?
we don't need another one. We just need to go ahead and
Follow through with it.
revisit the item and see if she's any closer to making her decision.
One of the things I know about Linda Minton, she's old school. I'd like to go too and talk to her because, I mean, she's known my family forever. You know, it's back to those New Smyrna connections. You know these people for your life, you know. So I'd like to talk to her when you go, just to have her understand that, you know, since that big chunk of DOT property in the middle has broken up the ability to build anything on that, the back half is still residential. 4 units per acre.
I would feel more if the city reaches out to her and asks her if she's still interested in selling the property and if she's made a decision. If you want to reach out to her on your own, I don't have a problem with that, but I just think since we are advisory to the city, then the city needs to be the one to contact her,
Good point.
you know.
And I'd be happy to go out and meet her, because like you say, she's old school, so if the face-to-face is better, I'm happy to meet her
I'll just keep my
face-to-face.
mouth shut and just be there in form.
Yeah. Yeah, you can make the
Is that good?
introduction, basically. We've
Yeah,
already,
make the introduction and go from there. and-
Yep.
Ron already introduced me when we made the phone call that I'm now the natural resources manager. And, but yeah, it would be, if you want
I'll
to
just
make the
introduce
introduction
you
to
and
who I am, and yes, that'd be good.
Shut my mouth and stand out in the background.
There you go.
I'll go with that. That's
Okay.
probably the safest.
Yes,
Go
next
stomp
week.
the swamp.
Yeah, and I know she's right there on the east side of the canal, so.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so, are you comfortable with all that? Chip?
Yeah, yes, I am. Let's talk about 69 for a second. What's the status of the bridge to the north going across Jungle Road? Was that bridge reconstructed?
No. Does the county own that bridge?
Yeah.
So we'd have to go to Volusia County to ask if we were to open that up?
Sorry. Sorry. I was
Is that a
opening
bridge or a
map.
culvert?
This is the property here. Walker Drive,
That's here.
that doesn't connect directly to the property that we're talking about.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
It's right here.
So with a direct connection to that property, then there would be public access potentially.
Exactly.
I'm sorry you didn't hear me. I said speaking about 69, since North Walker Drive connects with that property, there would be potentially direct public access for public use.
Yes. So where you see, there's a little cutout area. Yeah, there you go. So you see the very first road, and it's like a little thin dotted line right beside the number mark. That's Walker, and there's a small parcel on that side. That's, somebody owns that, there's a house there, and then there's this little section that's a dirt pile, and then you have Walker. If you were to follow that all the way across 44, it meets with Walker on the south side of 44. And Walker goes right on up. So Walker would be your access road. But again, it's a dirt road. As far as that bridge, since there's 2 openings under that bridge, and the flow seems to be so far so good right now. It could be widened, but we'd have to take out the bridge at Jungle Road, and that's a county thing. Possibly down the road to open up flow there. I believe that the city had a survey done. I want to say it was one of those, it was a survey the city had about the drainage, and it was a recommendation from a guy in Gainesville.
That was the first flood,
The-
yeah. Yes, there was an impediment on that bridge, wasn't there?
Yes, several times. They've done that twice. The guy, Edward, the company's name was Edward something. I want to say it was, I can't, Edward something. Oh, help me. I can't remember the name of the company that did it. I was at the commission meeting when they did that. But it's a survey that was done to talk about our floodplains and our drainage and it was a survey to tell us what we needed to do to fix things. And I believe that bridge was under that.
Okay.
Under that, it was a title shed.
I think it was the first stormwater report. They're into the second one.
Help me, Randy, you were there. You remember that report? Edward somebody Jones, Edward.
I think the first order of business is to buy the property, and then we can go from there.
Yes, okay, so anyone want to make that motion to move forward to the recommendation?
Well, I would move that we go ahead and ask the city to negotiate the purchase of these two properties. And I guess do we get two appraisals?
We already have two.
We already have two appraisals.
And so the median between the two appraisals is what we're offering?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that we go ahead and go forward with that.
We have about 12,000 in wiggle room to go to the top of each,
Okay.
The highest for the two appraisals.
The 380 and the 350.
Yeah, I'm saying we have about 12,000 that we could go and be at the highest end of both appraisals and still be within the appraisal range.
Okay. Do I have a second on that motion to
So-
move forward?
I'll second it for discussion. I'd rather do them individually, piece by piece, because I have some concerns about 77. If
Okay.
DOT does have a pond on there, they may also have some kind of rights, deeded rights to where they can access that even more. So I would rather get that down, because if in fact DOT has rights to more of that land, then that would be less square footage that she actually owns, so that could drive the price down.
That's a good point.
I almost
so
want to
that
read
would-
the appraisal on 77 myself.
I'll get them to you. It should have been considered in the appraisal, yeah.
Yeah.
The gate that goes onto that property has a DOT sign on it.
So it's an
No trespassing
access
sign.
easement.
Yeah,
Is there a curb cut on 44 to get in?
there is a curb
Yes.
cut.
Yes?
So they may even have some funding source, or see what their long-term plan is, if in fact they are gonna expand the ponds.
So the actual square footage or acreage of that property is the pond and the right-of-way included in that square footage?
I don't know.
The pond
We'd have
is
to
not-
see that appraisal on
Okay.
77. So let's start with 69, and let's get that motion for movement on 69. Do I have a motion
Yes.
for the city to move forward on number 69? Would you please call the roll for us on number 69? Has the DOT pond on it.
Right.
So do you have, Tony, I hate to ask this now, I mean, it's, again, part of that package I need ahead of time, is do you have a copy of that appraisal?
I do. I'm pulling it up right
Attaboy.
now. All right, that's
I knew
77,
it.
so we got an appraisal from Heffington, an appraisal from Pomeroy.
Do we get it on our screen?
We'll see. They just transferred me to this computer versus the desktop I was on. There you go. It is thinking about it. While it's thinking, I will go ahead and have it start thinking about the second appraisal.
So have we already made an offer on that piece of property?
We have, yes, but
Okay.
we did list them individually.
Okay. So, yeah, so for my comfort, I would just like to review the appraisals
That's, I would too. So he's opening it up now, because he does have those appraisals.
And I have no idea why it's taken so long. Because it's not even proceeding.
No.
Was this area of the creek dredged recently?
No. No, this part of the creek was not part of any of the dredging that we were doing with watershed management program. There are some trees that went down in this section. Because it's wider and deeper than any other section of the creek, it was skipped past because it has flow. Since they've opened the other side of the creek, if either of y'all have gone down there and taken a look, it looks great.
It does.
That looks like I did when I was 13 years old. So it's nice to see that
Yeah,
wide open
sure
flow.
is.
And then when we had these king tides, I noticed that it didn't bank. It didn't come all the way up to the bank. It stayed below the banking, which was another huge fix. I think we'll be in great shape this hurricane season. If we can get to the railroad parcels on the north, we'll get there.
Yes.
We'll discuss it.
What's the status of the gas line to the south?
Yeah, we need to follow up on that too. I'm going to make a note. We'll come back to it.
Okay.
Okay, because that'll be part of this updates on the creek map. Because I need to enlighten everybody on that gas line. And we may have to forward that question to Kyle. It doesn't seem like it's loading.
Nope.
I would say close it and try again.
There's the right side, the east side, but the west side is just completely covered over there, the DOT's property, so it looks like they need to.
You know what, I have paper copies of these on my desk right outside.
Okay,
I'm gonna grab them real
if
quick.
you want to go grab those.
Yes.
Well, if we've already made a proposal on them, I just think that maybe we just need to revisit them and see if they're still interested in selling and that we've had the two appraisals. Are we close? If we're not even close, then, and in the meantime, you can email us both of the appraisals
I can do that.
just to confirm that the DOT property is not included in their appraisals.
I'm pretty sure it's not. It was up for discussion on several other meetings about that DOT part.
Yeah, but I mean, the appraisal should have taken that, the appraiser should have taken that in consideration with, as far as the value goes, with, having the DOT property in the middle of that piece.
I think it
Would
did.
decrease the value of it, so.
Well, I think it did, because he just stated that it was 69 at 380 grand rounded, and 350 grand for the front parse. So that's less that spot where the DOT pond is. But how big is the DOT pond? What's the
Right.
square footage? Yeah, I agree. I'd like to know more information on that. But I am pretty sure that they would have taken that into consideration on this parcel,
Yeah, and even
since
if
it's
we can get
less.
a copy of the survey of that piece of property.
I believe, isn't that usually included in the appraisals?
Should be, but I haven't seen it, so.
Right, right.
Neither of the properties are advertised, are they?
No.
So we certainly can go ahead and reach out to both pieces and see if they're still interested in.
Well, all of this, the two parcels we're talking about, number 69 and 77,
Right.
are owned by Linda and Walter Mitten.
Okay.
The Ellison Acre parcels were sold to the houses that are listed there from 70 to 78, and then the kids of the Ellisons got number 69 and 77 and 79. So Linda Mitten has the east side, has the west side of the creek, and her brother has the right side of the creek.
Okay.
So as far as the right side of the creek, number 78 and 79, those we haven't really gone forward with. It would be nice if he's willing to sell them, because 79 is listed for, hang on a moment, I just want to make sure I get this correct. I want y'all wide awake on it. It's zoned, I'll read it off to you. It's zoned B4CA. That is number 79. As far as critical lands to pick up, that's the one.
I concur with that. Also, there's access with Lake Drive, the
Yep.
northern part of it.
Yep. But then there's the school that's on that as well. Right there there's a little teeny corner where you say the word Hodges on the big map here.
Uh-huh.
That's little teeny corner. That's where the school starts.
Actually, that is not. That is a
No.
Oh, no,
separate parcel.
that's Mr. Hodges' property. That's the
Yes.
one with the pond. Sorry.
It's the house.
Yeah, it's the house.
School's north of it.
That's right.
And it's on there because he has approached us as well with an interest to sell.
Oh, he
So, yeah,
did?
the school is right there under the number 79.
Mhm.
It's a little daycare.
The school has flooded a few times, hasn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much everything out there is about 5-foot contour, and the flood elevation is 6, 100-year flood.
That's why everybody's trying to raise their property.
Yeah.
They're doing their best to. Okay, so as far as 77 and the survey goes, can we put that section in? Let me ask this as a question. Since we have the appraisal already on that one, can we add that in with the city to make the approach to buy all of that together? Number 77 along with 69, because it is the same owner.
What, I thought that was the consensus, was to reach back out to them and find out what the
Yeah.
status of it is, so if they're still interested in
Just still
selling.
follow up if she's been made the offer.
Right.
You've approached her with the offer on both 69 and 77.
Correct.
Your question was, how big is the pond, and if it's,
Yeah, I just would like to, for my own reference, would like to see their appraisal on 77.
77, okay. So we will move forward with
You can
77.
email that to me.
I was actually just trying to email it, and it won't attach to an email any faster than it will open.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
all my files have been transferred to the new cloud system that we're doing, so it's not actually in-house anymore.
Okay, so do I have a motion to move forward with 77 along with 69?
I can make that motion, but I think
Let's
it's already
make,
going.
okay, everybody's good with that? We're moving forward on it? Okay, fine. So I'm going to scratch that we've completed our discussion on 4A, and let's move to 4B. Let's look at the overall map, and let's talk about that gas line, too.
Well, before we do we want to talk about 79?
It'll be part of this, yes?
So going back to 77 for just a moment, literally, when we adjourn, I can make copies of for everybody, paper copies, and give them to you right after the meeting, so you've got them.
Good. Okay, super. So now the other Ellison properties, that's number 79. And that would be, we haven't approached them yet.
We have not,
We haven't moved forward with requesting for an appraisal on property number 79 and the Hodges property as well. Those are areas that we still don't have. Going south on the map, because this is just an update on the creek, the Turnbull Creek map that's in front of you. The parcels we do own are in green. They're green with, I believe, no.
on 79, we did have an appraisal done in 2020, came in just under $1 million.